And here's what I'm going to do, Michael. I'm going to guarantee a victory this week. I have to win this week. I'm not going to go 1-4. And if I lose, next week's show, the commissioner is going to be wearing his paper bag the entire show if I lose to the High Flyers.
The old put up or shut up.
Which is not going to happen.
Putting up. It seems like it's further to your side.
Good morning and welcome back to the Jacked Up Fantasy Football League Week 6 preview show. Along the owner of the Archon Tigers, Zach Vernisevic. Underneath this paper bag is yours truly, the commissioner and the owner of the Playmakers. How's it going?
I thought I was doing a show with the unknown comic there for a second, but it's Val.
Maybe it is underneath the show, underneath the bag. All right, we're going to quickly recap Week 5, all the games from Week 5, and then talk about Week 6. It's kind of hard to follow this thing in this paper bag, but I would do my very best because I'm a man of my word here. Let's talk about, let's skip the High Flyers and Playmakers. Congratulations to the High Flyers for a blowout victory. Any comments?
I was wrong on this game. I thought the High Flyers were going to lose and you were actually going to make it a game, but you disappointed once again.
Hence the reason for the paper bag.
And I apologize to Michael. I think he's got a pretty good team this year, and we got to give him his props.
Team Ecatech goes 5-0 against the Bulldogs in a much closer game than people expected. Your thoughts?
Well, I said the Bulldogs aren't a bad team. I've picked them twice already. I think I'm going to pick them again this week, and they got a decent team.
Okay. Archon Tigers prime timers in the ugliest game of the week. You score 71 points and you win.
Well, I know I've said this all week. You know what I'm going to say. If you want to say it for me, go ahead. Why did I win that game?
Because that's what winners do.
Exactly.
But hey, congratulations. Prime timers are obviously one of the worst teams in the league. And prime timers, you put up that poll about Playmakers being the worst team. But, you know, last time I checked, we have the same record. So
he's pretty bad.
Exactly. TNT scores the highest points this season of any owner, 165 against the Eliminators. Your thoughts?
I don't think that was much of a surprise. I mean, the Eliminators are pretty disappointing this year. Tom Brady hasn't had the year he's supposed to have, and TNT is just, I mean, he's not a bad team, actually. Tony, I'm going to give you a little props there.
Congratulations, TNT. Cocoa Puffs against the Serb Destroyers. Once again, the Serb Destroyers just can't seem to put a win together here.
Well, I mean, Drew Brees was off last week, but you can't put all your trust in Drew Brees. You got to have other players to back that up, and Jake didn't have them.
Cocoa Puffs, no one's talking about them. They're 4-1, and this week they play a 5-0 T-Mac team.
Cocoa Puffs, not a bad team on paper if you look at them. They have them, Maurice Jones-Drew. They got 3 good wide receivers. They have Brandon Marshall, Hines Ward, Steve Smith. Cocoa Puffs are for real.
I agree. All right, let's spend a little more time previewing Week 6. Let's start with the Archon Tigers against the TNT. This is a rematch of a couple of weeks ago where Archon Tigers won a very close game. This is a different TNT team. Your thoughts?
I think it'll be another close game.
I think so.
I think the difference in this game is going to be 2 things. Michael dropping the Pittsburgh Steelers and allowing me to pick them up is going to help me, definitely. And
TNT wasn't very happy about that.
Ben Roethlisberger going up against Cleveland, you don't know what could happen there. They're either going to run the ball a lot or they've been throwing downfield all year. So let's see which team shows up.
I think whoever scores more points between the Pittsburgh defense and Ben Roethlisberger wins the game.
I agree. But I pick, well, we'll go into that when we do our picks.
Well, let's talk about that game. I like the Archon Tigers to sweep the season series against TNT, and I call this an upset because TNT is rolling. He's won 3 straight. This will be an upset, but I like the Archon Tigers because of the Pittsburgh defense.
Well, Vegas disagrees with you, obviously. They have, well, it is an upset because Vegas does have them favored, so it would be an upset. My bad.
Well, this went from a pick-em game to that means all the money is on TNT. I'm going against the money. I like the Archon Tigers.
I'm going to pick against myself. I haven't done that.
First time ever.
I think Ben Roethlisberger is going to have a good game, but I hope I'm wrong.
Okay.
That's one time I hope I'm wrong.
Okay, I hear you.
All right.
Eliminators against the Bulldogs. Also a rematch. Last time Eliminators won by 25 in a low-scoring game. Bulldogs have improved every single week. They gave T-Mac, an undefeated team, a run for his money.
I think we got to give him his props this
Absolutely.
year. We've been ripping on his draft.
Yeah.
He's got some surprises in that lineup. He's got Steve Smith from the New York Giants, who's had a great year. Nate Burleson with Seattle. Seems like the guy scores every week.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he's got Chad Ocho and Hasselbeck. Not a bad team.
Good matchups this week. Very close game this time. It will not be a blowout. I like the Eliminators in a very, very close game because of the matchups.
And I, again, like the Bulldogs.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. High Flyers against the Prime Timers. This gives me an opportunity. We talked about the Pittsburgh defense. I did make a call to the High Flyers yesterday to remind them of our league policy on random drug testing. And now I know why the High Flyers are called the High Flyers.
Because they're high?
Because they're high. For dropping the Steelers defense the day before they play the Cleveland Browns.
But Michael,
Very questionable.
he still seems to win. And he's got the same motto I do. Winners win, and that's they walk the walk. I mean, it doesn't matter who he has in there, he's winning. So
If he was playing anyone else besides Ryan, I would pick against him for that dumbass move he made for dropping the Steelers defense. But I can't pick against the High Flyers when you're playing the worst team in the league right now, Ryan, the Prime Timers.
And Michael's favored by 29, so I think everyone agrees that this is going to be a blowout. And I like the High Flyers in this game. And the loser, Prime Timers, will be at home watching the playoffs on this TV set.
So maybe next week, Ryan, I'll do a poll to see how bad of a team people think you are.
Ryan, I hope you have those girls in your logo with you to console you during the playoffs, because you're going to need it.
Yeah, exactly. T-Mac attack Cocoa Puffs. This is the second.
This is the game of the week, I think.
Well, I think your game is the game of the week, but record-wise, this is the game of the week. 5-0 against 4-1. And for the first time all season, I'm going against T-Mac, and I'm picking the Cocoa Puffs to upset and give the T-Mac their first loss of the season.
I agree. I think having some of your players on bye obviously hurts you. But
Reggie
Cocoa
Wayne.
Puffs are loaded.
Yeah.
If you look at their team, Brandon Marshall, Hines Ward, and Steve Smith, all going at favorable matchups this week.
And Aaron Rodgers against the Lions.
Right, and then you have Jones Drew against St. Louis. I think this is going to be a blowout. I think the best team in the league gets blown out this week.
I agree with that one. I'm sorry, T-Mac, but I think the Cocoa Puffs beat you by at least 20 points. At least 20 points. The matchups are all on his side.
We have some good division races going on.
Yeah.
After this week, you could have two teams at 5-1.
Yep.
And then two teams at 4-2.
Yep.
That's going to make for an exciting postseason, I think.
Should be interesting. Well, between you and TNT, someone's going to lose. Someone's going to be 3-3.
Well, the Flyers are going to be 4-2.
Oh, the Flyers. Okay.
I think,
Okay.
but we'll see.
That's true because we picked it. Last but not least, Playmakers Serve Destroyers. Is this the game for the battle of the first pick in the draft in 2010?
Someone's going to be joining Ryan on the sidelines with the two girls.
Well, is that why he has two girls?
Yeah, one's for you, or Jake.
So you're
I'm
saying
sorry,
that
that was a Freudian slip. I'm sorry. I do have you winning this game, so
Okay.
I don't know why I said that.
Is it because of the matchups, or?
Let's see here what I wrote down. Well, yeah, but you have Jake Delhomme starting for you. That's I don't know why you did that.
Tony Romo was on the bye week, so it was between Orton, Jason Campbell, or Delhomme, and I think the best matchup is Delhomme.
I like your wide receiver matchups. They're going up against Greg Jennings going up against Detroit, Deshaun Jackson up against Oakland. I think this is going to be Greg Jennings' breakout game this year. He has not done anything.
I hope so,
And
man.
I hope you look like a genius.
So you like?
Drew Brees is not enough to beat you.
No.
And Jake has Ray Rice going up against Minnesota. That's not good. And I forget his other.
Darren Sproles is other running back.
Yeah, I think LT gets the carries there.
Sorry, Jake. You go 1-5. You join the Prime Timers in the battle for the #1 pick in the 2010 Fantasy Football Draft. We got 30 seconds here just to recap. I like the Archon Tigers, the Eliminators, the High Flyers, Cocoa Puffs, and Playmakers. The only two games we disagree. You're picking against yourself for the first time this week. This year, you like TNT, and you like the Bulldogs to upset the Eliminators.
That's true.
Of course, my brother, the Serve Destroyers. And we'll see you guys again next week. Go Browns!
Givali,